is Friday the 13th here in Australia. And I don't know about you, lots of people think, Friday the 13th, it's not a great day, or the number 13 is a bad omen, but certainly has not been the case for me. I love the number 13. Just a little bit of, random information for you. And then secondly, let me tell you where I am. So right now, I've pretty much packed up all of my equipment, put it in the car, and I am on the road with my husband, John. We are currently we're up in the Fraser Coast of Australia, Queensland, Australia, in a beautiful little place called Hervey Bay. So again, if you guys, tune into my show, you'll know that I take you guys on the road with me wherever it is that I go. I might just be tuning in from a, hotel room beside a pool, a motel room, even camping. You guys have come with me. So, that's what this show is all about. I wanted to create a life that, and a business that actually fitted around my lifestyle. So if that's the sort of stuff that you want to do, then, the Unlock Show is the perfect place for you, because it's all the stuff that I share with you. It's like seeing where I'm going, getting a feel for some of the equipment that I take with me, how I actually just jump on and go live, in a motel room, at a campsite, whatever the case may be, and also share with you business building, life, and just how to thrive in all aspects of your life, in your family, your business, and your life. And as you know, the place to be to get more information about that and to kind of have more of an intimate relationship with not only me, but a bunch of other really successful entrepreneurs is inside a group called the Success Secrets for Business, Family, and Life. And you can find us on Facebook. And if you're interested to see, like today, because I'm inside of a motel room, normally, if I'm out and about, I will show you guys the location that I'm at, and you actually get to see and experience a little bit of the beautiful country in which I am proud to live in, which is Australia and Queensland. And lucky for us, we're able to sort of move around with very few restrictions on us at this point in time. So we're very blessed to be living in this particular country. But if you want to see what I'm up to a little bit later on this afternoon, and you want to, see some of the sights of Hervey Bay, then I would suggest that you go and follow me on Instagram, and I'll make sure that I upload some pictures there for you guys to check out Hervey Bay. And one day you might be able to come and visit this place too. So let's get the show on the road. Without further ado, let's talk about how you actually create predictable growth in your business. And I want to give you guys a bit of an insight into some of the biggest killers of your dreams. I want to make sure, and the reason I'm talking about these is because I want you to make sure that you watch out for them, because often, forewarned allows you to be prepared. It will allow you to, recognize what those killers are, and when you're in them, it will allow you to do something about it. So really important that you watch out for these, because they absolutely have the power to kill your dreams and to destroy your business. So I want you to make sure that you're familiar with what those are. So, and of course, we want to make sure that we're able to create predictable growth in our business, because quite often what happens is that we start out in this business world, we start out doing things that we think, we kind of just meander along, create some things that we think are going to be big movers of needles, and they don't. So, growing your business, you've got kind of two choices. It can either be really it can be difficult, or it can be really easy. And the great thing about this is that the choice is actually yours. You have the power to make the right decisions, to have some discernment in your business, and make choices that are right for you at that moment in time. And when you understand what some of these, what some of the key indicators are, it will help you to make better decisions and help you to gain momentum and move your business forward at a much faster pace. Now, I'm also going to warn you, if you're watching me live today, you might also see me kind of looking to the left here. All I'm doing is the setup that I've got inside of the motel room. Of course, it's a bit makeshift, but in this world, we use whatever resources we've got to just do whatever it takes to make things happen. So right over here, I've got my big screen running with all of your guys' comments. So I want to make sure that I'm acknowledging and seeing those as we move through today's session too. And if you're listening on a podcast and you want to see me live, well, then again, you head on over to the Success Secrets for Business, Family, and Life, or on YouTube, you can actually watch the full episodes of the show live with video and all, not just audio. So welcome to everyone anyway that's watching. Okay, so Your success actually comes down to the choices that you make. And I want you to think about that, and I want you to tell me whether or not you think that is true. If you are successful right now, is that been a culmination of the choices and the decisions that you actually make? And the things that you have in your life right now, have they been a culmination of the decisions and the choices that you've made up until this point? And the point that I want to make here too is that the choices and decisions that you've made in the past do not necessarily dictate the success that you can have in the future. So if you're not where you need to be, it's probably because you've made some choices that haven't been in your favor and decisions that haven't been in your favor, but you can actually make some changes to those now. And again, like I've mentioned in other episodes, comes down to you being prepared to make the decision to make changes, being prepared to make those changes and have transformation actually happen. All right, so here's the problems. Let's talk about those now. So often the problem is that most people don't actually know what choice is the right choices to make. And of course, in every, for every person, they might be a little bit different based on your circumstances, based on, what's going on in your life at that time. But again, if you follow the simple process that I'm going to give you today, it will allow you to have some clarity and some discernment with the decisions that you make from here on in. So before we actually start with the solutions, I want to talk about the biggest things that could sabotage your success. And these are the things that kill most businesses, kill entrepreneurs' momentum, and they can, sabotage the success of your business. And if you listened in a couple of, earlier in the week, I had Alex Schafran on, and he talked a lot about momentum and how to get into momentum and how to stay there. We know that as entrepreneurs, the thing that drives us, the thing that keeps us kind of motivated and upbeat and, ready to move forward is us feeling like we are in momentum. As soon as you get out of that state of momentum and you're kind of in that, oh my God, resistant state, things become really difficult. So it's super important that you know how to get yourself into momentum and you know how to stay there. So if that's something that you're interested in, I would recommend that you go back and you watch Wednesday's episode, which was with Alex Schafran, and was talking a lot about momentum. Okay, but here's the three things that I believe are the biggest killers of your dreams and the biggest killers that stunt the growth in your business. Number one is procrastination. And you're probably going, oh my gosh, that's so predictable. Yep, but it's common. And it is the one thing that stops people from moving forward constantly. So we end up in this cycle of, gosh, I've got to make a decision. I don't know what decision I should make. We dwell on it. We overthink it. And then we don't do anything about it. So one of the things that you must do is get yourself, recognize when you're in procrastination. And the worst thing you can do is not make a decision. So if you make a decision and it's the wrong one, it's okay, because you can actually then, it enables you to move forward out of that state of procrastination, and you can make another course correcting decision to get you back on track if that is the case. So number one is procrastination, not making decisions. The faster you can make decisions, the better. Even if you look at people like Richard Branson, he will tell you that. He will tell you that, our jobs as entrepreneurs and business owners is to constantly be making decisions all the time, every day. The faster you can make a decision, the faster you will gain momentum and you will move somewhere. Even if it's backwards for that moment, it doesn't matter. You are moving and you are getting momentum, and you can, again, like I said, make a course correcting decision that will get you back on track. And I'm going to share with you how you know where your home base is. What is that home base that you can make those course correcting decisions? The second thing that is going to stop you is distraction. And this is a common thing that you'll hear, particularly in the business owner and entrepreneurial space, is shiny object syndrome. Because particularly if you are an entrepreneur that works in the online space or you have anything to do with online, the world in which we live in is moving at a rapid pace. So no matter what, whatever tools and resources you have today, there is going to be something else shiny and new that comes out tomorrow. The key to this is to decide what systems and processes you will use for now and stick with them. And then when you need to, you can upgrade and you can look at something new. I know this for sure. I know this because I've been there too, where you're kind of, when you're starting out, it's really, really easy to get into this space and you're listening to lots of different people, trying to figure out what tools and resources they use. And you can end up being a victim of the shiny object syndrome. Again, that will have you going round and round in circles, never getting anywhere. So you must understand when you are looking at new things and stop yourself from doing that, and make sure that you continue to move through to complete a project or get whatever it is that you have got off the ground. Which brings me to my third thing. This is what I call getting stuck in the half-built stage. If you can imagine that you are, you're driving in a car, or you're actually wanting to get from one place to another. And to get from one place to another, it requires you to have a bridge. You're going to drive across a bridge to get from one side of the river to the other. What would happen if the people who were building that bridge only ever built it halfway? Could you ever get from that one side of, one island to the other island where it is that you've been trying to get to? Could you do that if you only built the bridge to halfway? Well, the answer to that would be, well, no, you can't. You're gonna go halfway. You're going to be looking at your goal on the other side, hoping and wishing and praying that you were over there, but you'll never get there. Why? Because the bridge is only half built. This, again, is one of the places that is very, very easy to get stuck. And particularly if you are a creative, particularly if you like building new things, particularly if you are an entrepreneur, because an entrepreneur likes the evolutionary hunter, if I can use Alex Sharfin's terms. We constantly are we're on the hunt for the new thing. We're on the hunt to create the new amazing, tool, resource, or program, or whatever the product the case may be. But what will happen is if you only ever build that bridge to halfway, it never gets finished. You never get to take it to market. This third one is huge, and I see it time and time and time again. And in fact, I've even been in teams where this has happened on a regular basis. So keep listening, because I'm going to share with you how you actually move yourself out of those, and so that you can do something about it when you find yourself in these situations. Or what I've done today is helped you to be aware of the three things that will have you stunted, it will stunt your growth, have you ridiculously, frustrated, and will potentially kill your enthusiasm, your momentum, and your business. We don't want that to happen. All right, so let's talk about, now that we've kind of talked about the doom and gloom of those are the things that can, take me out, cut my legs off at the pass. Let's talk about the three keys to creating predictable growth in your business. So, we want growth, but in an ideal world, you want to have growth that is actually predictable. You want to know that the things that you are doing are actually going to make a difference, and they're going to move you forward instead of taking you back. So here's the first one. The first one is clarity and focus. So you must be very clear about what you offer and what it is that you are building. This becomes your home base. So if you think about whenever there's, even as a kid, when you played a game of I can't remember if it's like hide and seek, or, when you're wanting to get back to safety, but no matter what it is that you do, whether you're in the army, there's always a place that you can go back to that is your safe ground. It's usually predetermined. It's usually, pre-organized. That is the place that we meet If our house burns down, if there's an emergency, even in this hotel, I can see on the door, on the back of the door over there, there is an emergency evacuation plan. This is what I'm talking about. And on that sign that I'm looking at right now in the back of the door of my motel room, it gives me X marks the spot. That is the place. If this place is on fire or there is some sort of an emergency, everybody here knows where they go to meet. That becomes the safe ground. It becomes your home base. So this is what I'm talking about when you're creating clarity and focus. What are the home bases in your business? Your home base actually becomes your business plan, right? So when you've created your business plan and you know what it is that you're wanting to achieve in your business, it's very easy when you're making decisions to then go back to home base, business plan, marketing plan, whatever it is that you're using, and you're going, what was it that I'm trying to achieve? Does the decision and the choices that I'm going to make right now, does it move me closer to achieving the goal that I set in my plan? Or does it move me further away? That is the first place I go to. And I've constantly got in my mind, front and foremost, is what is it that my company is trying to achieve? Or what is it that I'm trying to achieve? So I wouldn't do anything. I always go back to that, make the decisions based on the core values of the business, the marketing plan, my home base, and I make my decisions based from there. That's the safe place. And like I mentioned earlier, if you make a decision that takes you off course, what do? You go back to home base, you look at what your objectives were, you get yourself clarity and focus, and you make a course correcting decision. That will, when you're making these course correcting decisions too, you're always making sure that with your business plan, you've probably got something that's really big and high level. Each month, you're breaking it down into specific projects and then the tasks that need to be completed with those. Again, that's going to give you specific focus and specific projects that you'll be working on that will eventually lead you to the promised land, which is actually building that entire bridge to get you to the other side, which is your overarching goal of your company and your business. The second thing that you need to do, so that was clarity and focus. The second is targets. And a lot of businesses, I know, targets, they kind of go, I come from a banking background, and a lot of what I did in that finance corporate world, my job was sales and marketing, and I had to set targets for each of the people in my team. Most of them came to the banking world not wanting to be salespeople. They were there to, thought it was about counting money and delivering service. But I kid you not, the banking world is very, very sales oriented. So regardless of what type of business you are in, you must set targets. And I'm not talking about big, hairy, audacious goals as such. You even want to set targets and bring those targets forward, particularly if you are working with a team. So yes, you can have like stretch targets, but you want to have targets that you can bring close enough to your team that they provide some level of like stretch, but not so big and scary that they're not going to be able to meet those targets. You want to make sure that they are very, very clear and almost create that safe place where they can achieve, but they're achieving at a stretch. Why you want to do that is because when people are seeing that they are achieving goals, success breeds success. They will keep going. They will do the next one and the next one and the next one. And that is what gets you momentum, and it allows your team to feel like they're actually contributing instead of having really, big goals that they can't meet. So you must have goals, and you must understand how you are going to measure your progress. So it's interesting because I've been talking to some business people about this particular thing, like targets, and how are you going to measure that? And sometimes when I ask questions about, how will you measure that? The measurement that they have is actually off base with where they're trying to achieve. It's not actually going to get them the goal. So one of the things that you need to make sure that you do is that there is absolute alignment in the measurement that you have and the goal that you are trying to achieve. In a lot of cases, you will hear this being referred to as key performance indicators. You want to know what they are, and you want to measure yourself and your team against them on a regular basis. Now, when you ask what is a regular basis, well, that might be monthly for some, it might be weekly, it could even be daily. With teams that I work with, we have things that we need to do on a daily basis. We meet every day for a minimum of 15 minutes, and we just talk through the tasks that we need to get done, and we make sure that everybody is on track and doing the things that they need to do. Again, this leads me to the third thing. The third thing is making sure that you're actually doing what I call move the needle activities, and you need to be doing these each and every day, because believe me, it's really freaking easy to get sidetracked, to get wound up in lots of other things that do not move the needle forward. So when you're creating your plan, you're creating that clarity and that focus. Like I said, you're creating that home base. You're then creating, what are the tasks that I'm going to do? You're wrapping around them some targets so that you can measure yourself against them. But you want to make sure that the activities that you're actually doing are moving the needle forward. And sometimes that's as simple as I need to pick up the phone and I need to be talking to X number of customers. It might be I need to set up some ads for my business today. It might be I need to get on and do one Facebook Live. It may even be, I want to start my own show. What are the things that I need to do? So just thinking very carefully about what are the activities I need to do today that are going to help move the needle forward. Because if you're not doing that, you're most likely in a situation where shiny object syndrome is going to be creeping in. Procrastination and some of the other things that I've already spoken about will start to hijack and sabotage your success. So be very focused and make sure that you stay consistent in doing the move the needle forward tasks each and every day. And if you think about that analogy that I used, which is to build the bridge, you want to make sure that that's exactly what you're doing. You're building the bridge. You're actually putting, you're laying the next piece of the foundation down and down and down until such time as you've got the whole bridge completed before you start the next one. Because, like I said, that will prevent you from getting to where you need to go. No good having 10 half-built bridges when you don't even have, you haven't even got one built. So it's best that you complete as many of them as you can so that you get some success before you move on. And then the other thing, like I said, is to wrap accountability around all of this. So it's not being like Big Brother with a big stick and have you done this? It's just, making sure that whatever it is that, whether it's you, if you're a solopreneur, that you've got some level of accountability. The thing that you might do with this is you might make sure that you have, you get yourself an accountability partner. You've got yourself a coach and mentor that can keep you on track. You might have, if you can't afford to do that, make your spouse your accountability partner. They make the best accountability partners. Believe me, they want you to succeed, and they also want to make sure that you're being successful so that the family is successful. So if you cannot afford a coach and you don't want to go out and get somebody outside of your circle, use your partner. Ask them to be your accountability coach and a partner, and meet with them on a regular basis. And before long, you'll actually find that they'll be very invested in your success and also in your business. And then if you do have a team, well, of course, you would get, again, you're going to rally around as a team. And this is what we call vertical pressure. So you're going to create a team where you're actually all holding one another accountable. That creates vertical pressure. And as the leader of that business, you no longer need to really hold a big stick. Why? Because the rest of the team is going to keep the team accountable, keep everybody together, and making sure that you move forward. You want to think about that. If you look up in the sky, it will give you some clues, particularly if you watch the birds fly. You'll see them fly in formation. They don't often fly in isolation. So just make sure that you're keeping everybody on track in that manner. So those are my 3 key things that I think make a huge, huge difference in creating predictable growth in your business. Because when you understand all of these, when you've got clarity and focus, you're clear about what it is that you want to offer, you have targets, you know how you're going to measure them and whether or not you're actually making progress, and you're completing move the needle activities with some level of accountability, you really cannot go wrong. And if you do, like I said, no big deal. Make another decision, make it fast, and make a course correcting decision based on your home base. Go back to home base, look at get yourself clarity and focus, and make the next decision. The only thing you need to think about in your business is what is the next decision that I need to make. Do not procrastinate on it. Do not go round and round in circles talking about it 50 million times. Make a decision and move on. That is how you get momentum. So, guys, I want to thank you guys for joining me today. Like I said, I'm in Hervey Bay in the motel room here that has served its purpose pretty well with some decent lighting and what have you. Best I can get based on the side lamps that they've provided, and jump on here and allow you guys to share in my little journey that I'm on with my husband John over the next couple of days. So I'm hoping that you guys have found today's session really valuable. These three things and the sabotages that I've shared with you, the biggest killers of your business, 6 things today, 3 that you need to watch out for, 3 that you need to be doing, really will help you to get in momentum. And I just want to continue to encourage you to keep stepping forward and realizing that now is the best time for entrepreneurs to really move forward in this world. There have been so many things that have come up over the last, almost a year now that we've been in this pandemic situation, where there are things that we've looked at and gone, man, that doesn't work so well. Gee, that's a problem. Many opportunities that we have seen and have been brought to light for us, where we can really make a difference in shaping the new world post-pandemic. So use this time to your advantage. Use the things that you're seeing. Take the challenges and the problems and the frustrations that you're having, that you're seeing elsewhere and that you're seeing inside of your business to make changes. But make sure that you continue to build the bridge to its entirety and do not leave yourself with half-built bridges. That is me for today, guys. I'll be back again. Wednesdays and Fridays are the day that I go live, 10 a.m. Brisbane time. And if you would like to watch, any replays of any of the shows that I have done over the last, 6 months or so, I think I'm up to almost episode number 60. So there's plenty of information and tools and resources, by the way, for you guys to download. A couple of places you can go. One is inside of the Success Secrets for Business, Family and Life group. And if you are in there now, I would encourage you, I want to challenge you actually to go and invite your other entrepreneurial friends. If you find the information that I'm sharing, Vicky Helm is sharing, and Scott Stevens is sharing valuable, you want to make sure that you share it with your friends. So please make sure that you do that. The other is you can download my podcast. So go to almost all of the podcast platforms. You'll be able to look for me, Unlocked with Tracy Wilson, and download the podcast. And again, share that with your friends. I'd love a bit of love over there, and also on YouTube. And like I said, this afternoon, if you want to see what I'm up to, I will post some pictures on my Instagram page. Tracy M. Wilson is where you can find me, at Tracy M. Wilson on Instagram. Go and have a look over there. I'll post a few images so you can see this beautiful country that I live in. And you can see what Hervey Bay on the Fraser coast of Australia looks like. And this is normally the place that you would come to do whale watching. So no whales out there at this point in time, but this is the place that you would come. So that being said, guys, have an amazing Friday the 13th. If it's not Friday the 13th for you yet, and I'm speaking to you from the future, then I can tell you that today is a pretty awesome day. So, keep on keeping on, live your life unlocked, because like I always say, there's just no other way. Just carry on, live it unlocked, live the best, fullest life you possibly can, because we're here for, I want to say short time, not here for a good time, not a long time. So, let's make sure that we make the most of it. Thanks, everybody. You're all amazing, and I will see you again next week. Bye.